My point is that, first of all, nuclear weapons don't work. Nuclear weapons don't work, and deterrence doesn't work. You know, the disease comes from the West, and I'm slightly surprised that the Chinese scholars still believe in deterrence, because deterrence means my ability to kill you far away if you don't do what I say or you do something I don't want you to do, meaning we have the ability by deterrence to kill you, and secondly, we think you could do something bad to us. Instead of building confidence, deterrence is kind of, saying to somebody, let's talk, but putting up a pistol to that person's head. So deterrence doesn't work. Deterrence leads to lack of credibility, to enmity, because the recipient in the other end will not see it as a kind thing that you can kill these people far away. And then you say, but we don't have the intention to. So why do you have it if you don't have the intention? The same goes with nuclear weapons. Point one, if you use nuclear weapons, you cannot use that territory afterwards. There will be a radioactive desert. Two, if you say they're only there to deter from warfare, but they should never be used, you have not understood it. Because deterrence means that I will use the weapons if the situation comes up. If A and B knows about each other, that they would never use the nuclear weapons, they would not be deterrence weapons. And then, in my view, it's totally immoral to even think of using nuclear weapons. There's nobody who has a godlike authority to decide the future of humanity. We let God do that until 1945, 16th or 17th of July. But the idea that some leader somewhere can push a button and destroy humanity is, to me, simply an immoral and perverse idea. So I would say there's not going to be peace or security anywhere in the world before the nuclear weapons are gone once and for all. And I said at the seminar here, we got rid of cannibalism, we got rid of slavery, we got rid of absolute monarchy, we've gotten rid of a lot of things, including smoking at public places. And then you're telling me that humanity has existed for 5,000 years, and because we've had nuclear weapons since 1945, we cannot get rid of them. It's all a matter of political will. It has nothing to do with the necessity. And when then people say we need more of it, I say, okay, try to get the people's acceptance on that and what it costs. Don't sit as a little elite and say we're going to get more nuclear weapons. Have a public referendum and see whether your people like more nuclear weapons. I think they don't. Citizens all over the world are fed up with warfare, with paying for it, because it's the taxpayers' money that goes into these kinds of things. So there's an ample opportunity to discuss how to reduce nuclear weapons and conventional weapons to a lower level for all of us. At the moment, we are militarizing ourselves to death. That somebody takes a little step without asking for anything. This idea of disarmament through negotiations has never proven effective. What could be done is that those who have thousands of them could say, okay, we take away 10, we take away 20, we take away 100, because they could do that without reducing their security. And then they could say, we invite you other guys who have nuclear weapons to do the same. So you get a disarmament race, not an armament race, but a disarmament race. This was developed by an American social psychologist in the 60s, I think, who called it reciprocated. That means the idea that one takes a not risky step, but shows goodwill to reduce the weapons, and then thereby invites the others to do the same. You know, that I believe more in. It may sound that it's unrealistic, I don't know, but it's also unrealistic to think that, given the way of the world at the moment, the situation of the world now, suddenly people should sit down and discuss how to get rid of nuclear weapons. Finally, are you aware that is, it's a crime according to international law to have nuclear weapons. We have a treaty. The majority of countries in the world has signed a treaty that nuclear weapons must go. Everybody who has nuclear weapons are violating international law. And that's, of course, all the nuclear powers, whereas those who don't have nuclear weapons would like them to get rid of them. So nuclear weapons is a curse of humanity. And I think it's a question of moral fiber and capacity of society to say the following: even if we can do it, we don't want to do it. Even if we can produce nuclear weapons, we don't want to produce nuclear weapons. You know, it's the same with a human being who can do something, but for moral reasons decide, I won't do it. I can kill this person over there, but I won't do it because I think it's not a good idea. I could have an affair with somebody, but I don't think it's a good idea, so I don't do it. Morals is to decide that you don't want to do something you could do. And we are lacking morals, because you won't find a moral philosopher anywhere in the world who thinks that nuclear weapons is a good idea. In that case, I'd like the name.